We have a bit of a clash to look at today as progressive Congresswoman Barbara Lee absolutely shut down Marjorie Taylor Greene for attempting to spread this pro-Russia propaganda she's been on for the last couple months and the American isolationism worldview that is a farcical belief that national security doesn't involve international security, pertaining specifically to the funding of Ukraine, which, as we'll get into, the money that we send Ukraine mostly doesn't leave America. But let's start with this clip first.
President Biden is beholden to a foreign government. My amendment will ensure that no American taxpayer money is sent to continue an endless failed war in that corrupt country, which is murdering an unknown amount of Ukrainian men. And I urge my colleagues to vote in favor of my amendment.
I rise in strong opposition to this amendment. Russia's brutal and unprovoked attack on Ukraine is not just a threat to Ukraine and its neighbors, but to the world. If Russia succeeds in its aggression, other unprovoked attacks are inevitable. Ukraine's democracy is being undermined every single day. Entire cities have been demolished. Women and girls are being sexually abused by Russian soldiers, and children kidnapped. Hospitals and schools, which should be safe havens, are being intentionally attacked.
Now, I want to draw a quick parallel here to Israel-Gaza, where MAGA Republicans are staunch supporters of continuing to fund Israel even while they carry out genocide, with one of their main justifications being they're the only democracy in the region. Well, Ukraine also represents that here, where Russia is an autocratic dictatorship that they're going up against, but the Republican Party has been in Russia's hands since 2016. So that justification doesn't matter there. It doesn't matter to them supporting this democracy over autocracy. Maybe they shouldn't support Israel's either. I'm just saying. But most of the money we send Ukraine stays in America. Actually, over 90% of the approved funds have stayed in our economy, investing in manufacturing facilities, replenishing the weapon drawdown, or funding agencies that we then use to help Ukraine. With this alone creating thousands of jobs in a multitude of states, from supply manufacturers like Javelins to GMLRs, ammo and weapons manufacturing. This again employs Americans and also grows our GDP, so it helps our economy and American citizens massively, all while keeping Russian aggression staved, where Putin said that in 2014 that he didn't have Russian troops in Crimea. He did. He said that invading Crimea wouldn't lead to war. It did. He said that he wouldn't further invade Ukraine. He did. But now MAGA wants us to believe that if we just reward his aggression by giving him Ukraine, he won't go on to invade a NATO country because he said that he won't. Well, guess what? Everything else he said that he wouldn't do, he went up and did. So it's just silly at best and dangerously ignorant at worst.
Hearing my colleague across the aisle talking about the rape and murder of women, I'd like to remind everyone that American women and children are being raped and murdered by illegal alien monsters that the Biden administration is allowing into the country, releasing into our country, paying for them to be travel through buses, planes, to all 50 states. And if this United States House of Representatives should care about any women and girls and children being raped and murdered, it should be American women, girls, and children. But this body cares most about Ukraine. I would like to remind everyone that just recently a Ukrainian group called Texty published a list of Ukrainian enemies that includes almost 400 Americans, including Republican U.S. lawmakers, conservative influencers, and media groups.
Okay, there's a lot of propaganda to get to in 1 minute. I'll try to touch on it all. The enemies list she's talking about in the way she speaks of it is a complete farce. Reporting has showed however special Republicans want to be, you know that they love playing the victim. There's no proof of this being real, especially not as a kill list. It comes from a conspiracy that is about a report that just lists the anti-Ukrainian sentiment in American politics, mostly from conservatives. It's not from the Ukrainian government. It's not from any Ukrainian official entity. It was just posted online on a digital journalism site with, again, zero evidence that Biden is funding it either. But of course, just like the Biden DOJ that's targeting Trump ruse, just straight out lie, it's easiest to blame Democrats for it. and then fundraise off of it. Because of course they can't fundraise off their legislative successes. There's been none. And to her xenophobic statement that she begun this with, immigrants writ large, undocumented or documented, are 60% less likely to commit crimes than American citizens. Undocumented immigrants alone are 37% less likely to commit crimes. But they want to fixate on undocumented immigrant crimes while American citizens commit far more crimes every single day, because it fits their narrative. But if she's so worried about sexual assault, first off, why is she voting for a rapist? I'm just saying, someone who literally has done sexual assault, who literally has been accused over 26 times of it, once with a minor. And second, she should probably worry about white men who by far commit this offense the most. If you enjoyed this video, we're Social Society. We're a commentary channel influenced by politics, society, and the economy. We are pretty left-leaning on this channel, but we're open to our right-wingers as well. The biggest thing here is having conversations that get everyone to the bottom of the truth. If that sounds like something that could interest you, consider smashing that subscribe button, leaving us a like, or even commenting on this video. We even have memberships available as low as $3 if you'd like to support, because the only way we become a society is together.